Okay, so this morning we're gonna talk about winning the game. How do you win the game of life? We're talking about, what is the game? Finding these universal laws, wisdom, as they call them, to just, succeed in everything and just live a better life, because what happens if you get this ascension, how do we call it, you get the secret of life, you become a Tibetan monk, you unlock something in the end, what's the benefit? Well, all kinds of cool magical stuff, but also you can say, hey, my whole practical life improved. Like, I'm not only an awakened, magical master. When you look at me and say, oh shit, this guy is he's living in a cooler way, in his practical daily life, everything is better because he knows what he's doing, right? So you're not gonna necessarily see somebody becoming super rich, but that's not really the goal. Okay, so the goal for me is different from the goal from you. I just need to be rich enough to live away from Bulgarians, live 10 kilometers minimum, 10 kilometers minimum, with guns, with sniper rifles, with thermal cameras, okay, with drones if possible, and traps, of course. So treat this as a podcast. This video is supposed to be something you listen to while you're working, while you're wasting time needing to work. Listen to me. I'm a radio. You don't need to look at me. You don't need to really pay attention. I'm supposed to be background noise, bro. Okay, this is a 40-minute, 50-minute radio show podcast. You don't want to be looking at my face, watching me focus and shit. I'm supposed to be just a guy speaking in your ear, okay? So that's how you do it. If you wanna listen to me on your phone and fucking download the MP3, that's okay. Okay? So we're gonna talk about deep philosophy, and the subjects are going to be winning the game of life. Second, realizing that normies really are worse than you. They really are lesser. This is gonna sound like a black pill, but you need to understand. You need to realize that it's not just a joke, it's not just a meme. We're not being bad people for believing it. It's actually the reality. And when you accept it, life is going to become better, because you're going to stop wasting your time and energy, okay? When you realize that the people around you, they want to kill you, they want to rape you. I'm sorry that I gotta tell you this, okay? And I will be providing an example with Ray Ripley, as always, because she's Drake called her his muse. So Ontirie is a muse where you just want to use her as an example for everything. Any wisdom, any story, any lesson you want to tell people, I want to teach you something, I'm going to provide an example with Ontirie, with Ray Ripley, because she's just that fun. She can be used as a placeholder for any lesson, okay? And you're going to ask yourself, why is this smart, ancient wisdom guy, Kirill, why is he always talking about Ray Ripley like he's an obsessed freak? How can he be an awakened psychologist, Zen master, but also be an obsessed freak with some woman wrestler? Well, life is funny sometimes. It just works that way, okay? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. People just like to talk about other people. Sometimes they think they're funny, and, maybe it will get boring eventually, but, who cares, right? Now, we're going to talk about something else, but I forgot what. But anyway, let's just get into it, okay? So, lesson number 1. How do we win the game? So, you will notice that, actually you didn't notice it, but I had to start recording 10 or 15 minutes later because somebody decided to activate the early warning system of the town. So, you know, it's like, attention, attention, missile strikes. We're testing the loudspeaker system of the town. Attention. So, you know, you're like, you just woke up, you're like, I'm like really zen, I'm like, let me make a video talking about zen stuff. And you just like, you adjust your phone, you're about to start recording, and like, the whole town echoes from the loudspeakers, from the government loudspeakers. Attention, we're testing the system for missile warning, you know, the disaster awareness system. And then you realize, the first thing you realize is, if shit hits the fan, do you want to listen to any hints from the government? Like, the government is gonna tell you something because they want you to survive. Say, hey, come to the FEMA camp, survivors. Come to the FEMA camp so we can harvest your organs. Attention. Come to the FEMA camps to be closed off with all the other losers looking to rape you, like, you know, any chance they can. Attention. Attention, survivor. Come to the FEMA camps. Any survivors, please come be enclosed with all the losers who can't take care of themselves. Where we share everything, like in communism, with people who want to rape you. Which is, when you think about it, it is true, like most people would actually, if given the chance, they would rape you in real life. And we're not just talking about sexual rape, we're talking about trying to impose themselves over you, trying to crush you. Like, they will. You saw what happened in, again, you know, the Ray Ripley example. She goes to Paris. She decides to take a walk wearing a hat, wearing sunglasses. You know, Aunt Teresa is a little autistic. She thinks that that's a disguise. Right. So, Aunt Teresa puts on a big hat, like a tourist, puts on some sunglasses. She's walking to her car, swarmed by Muslims, swarmed by brown individuals. They start fucking getting in her face. She's like, she gets scared for her life. And it's like, of course, it's normal to get scared, you know? You know, we're guys, we're men, we wouldn't fucking walk around without a fucking knife at the very minimum. You're a woman walking around. The fuck are you doing, Aunt Iria? At that moment, she realized the difference between me making jokes about kidnapping her, you know, and then be like, listen, I was just joking, you know, it's like, don't take it seriously, I'm just an asshole, I was just joking, you know. And the difference between me and men who they wouldn't make any jokes, they wouldn't tell you anything, they would just come and try their shit, you know. They just see you, say, oh, let me come grab your boobs, you know. They don't know who you, maybe they heard who you are, but they're like, oh, Ray Ripley, you know. Let me go grab her boobs, bro. Let me go feel her up, right? So, most people, given the chance, you know, that's one of the lessons, again, that most people are scum, basically. You can try to live in this illusion made by society, made by the government, because it's in their interest that you keep believing that people are universally good and they're just that great. And it's like, wait a minute, if people were that great, we wouldn't be forming like communes, like people wouldn't be all trying to make their little close friend circles where they vet anyone trying to join and just trying to live in close neighborhoods. And everybody's building a home gym now. Everybody's like giving up and stopping going to the gym, and more people are like, I'm doing calisthenics, let's make a home gym. Like, if regular people in general were that great, nobody would want to feel the need to pay more to live in a close neighborhood. Okay? So, I mean, why are we lying to ourselves? Why are we lying to ourselves? We're not talking about races, we're talking about people in general. Even if you live in a country full of white people only. Bulgaria, technically, it's only white people. So, why are we still dividing ourselves and paying extra money? Make sure we live in the nice neighborhood, right? And it's like, because we know most people are fucking scum. Even in Western Europe, even in the first world, you know. In terms of willpower, in terms of are they smart enough to, if they see you eating potatoes, can they just easily plant a potato and get their own potatoes, or would they come try to kill you? And it's like, yeah, you get the answer, you know. It's like, imagine across the street there's a whole field of grape. There's a whole field of grapes, right? And you can go, you can get some grapes, you can eat up, bro. So you come from the field, you're eating grapes, some guy sees you. He's like, hey, are those grapes? And I say, fuck. And I say, yeah, man, there's a whole field of grapes behind me. If you want grapes, you can go grab some. You know, they just grow for free, you know. He's like, I'm gonna kill you to take your grapes. And that's Bulgarians, and that's most people, okay? When you realize this, when you have been scared straight enough times, you can finally give up and start learning life in a different way, a better way. I'm sounding like a cultist. But anyway, so to continue my thought, this early warning system. So I'm like, now I gotta start my video 10 minutes later because they are testing the fucking loudspeakers. And it's like, again, you get the lessons. If there's people in a 10-kilometer radius from you, they will find, even if you live alone, you're trying to live away peacefully, they will find a way to like come fuck with you. They will find a way to somehow disappoint you. The key word is disappoint you. How do these people consistently find ways to disappoint you, right? I don't know. We don't know. But we know the facts. So we can accept at least what we know as lessons. So the facts are, if there's any way, if you allow people to get close to you, you will be disappointed, okay? If you rely on them about anything, you will be disappointed. Power outages, power surges. I had to get a UPS, and there is a surge protector on any outlet in my apartment. There is a surge protector because I cannot trust you not to fry my fridge. Oops. There's a power surge again. Oops. The power stopped. Oops. So, you know, you gotta get candles. You gotta get your laptop with the batteries because, you know, you can't rely on them. They're gonna cut the power for 3 hours. Oops. Right? And there's nobody punished. There's nobody, you pay for electricity, but they cut power for 3 hours. There's nobody punished. There's no shit, we're gonna fire someone, right? There is never a oh shit, we cut the power for 3 hours, we fucked up with whatever you were doing, we're making you pay less this month because we're inconveniencing you. I'm sorry. There's never a I'm sorry. There is never a I'm sorry. Okay. Give me a second here. So the first lesson is you learn that if you even let them get close to you, like, there is a fucking disappointment waiting to happen. And sometimes, you know, in psychology, in spirituality, in your life, sometimes you just need, for your peace of mind, you need a time where you can say, hey, this week I want to feel secure. I don't want anything bad to happen. I can't live every day worrying that wolves are going to come randomly eat me. Okay, I need not to be bothered, not to be annoyed, not to be disappointed for 1 fucking week, bro. For 1 week. And so people started building fences. Once upon a time, people were like, hey, if I just build a fence, I can finally last 1 week without being bothered by wolves and bears coming on my property and everybody's coming to fuck with. If I build a fence, it's like, hey, this is my space. If you want to annoy me, you gotta be able to jump the fence. You gotta go through the fence. There is a fence, a solid wall blocking your ability to annoy me. Okay? So, if I decide to go work out in the river, there is a solid obstacle that if you want to annoy me, if you want to come bother me, you have to actually go outside and you have to go to the river and you have to come walk in the grass and you have to come to the middle of nowhere to annoy me. So there is some effort. Okay, I'm not training next to you where you're walking. You actually have to go out of your way to come to me to annoy me. Okay? And we can take my regular workouts. We were just talking about, you know, fitness workouts, you know, training with a hammer, so sledgehammer, whatever. So if I go somewhere for some peace, it's like, oh shit, you actually gotta come to me to annoy me now. It doesn't just happen automatically, you know. And it comes such a time where you're so annoyed, you're so disappointed that even the little things start to annoy you. You're like, some neighbor, some boomer neighbor is gonna say some dumb joke, and I know it's a joke, it's nothing to be insulted, but you're so annoyed, you're so on edge that you're like, you know what, I don't feel good, I don't want to even listen to you. You're like, let me just learn to stay away from these people. Okay? With some people you decide there's no lesson to be learned from them, just stay away. You can learn your lessons from other people. Okay? When you become disappointed enough, okay, you're like, you know what, no, I just don't want to do it. Okay? I probably sound schizophrenic right now. I sound really like weird and hard to understand, but you know what, you don't have to understand me. I can try to explain it as cleanly as possible, but only those of you who actually like listening to me and you choose to listen to me, you choose to try to understand it, only they deserve to get that information. Anybody who's like, you know, that guy sounds full of shit, I don't get what he's saying, it's like, I don't need to convince you. This is not for everybody. Okay, this is supposed to be like a Zen lesson for people who deserve it. Okay? So, and you know, there's the case sometimes where you listen to somebody and it sounds like shit, you don't get it, and then a few years later, by accident, you decide to listen to it again, and now you suddenly get it. It's like a great TV show. Like, you think it's shit, right? And then, like, when you're ready, years later, now you're ready, Padawan, right? And now you appreciate it, right? I don't want to sound like some kind of an elitist, like full of shit asshole, but it's hard. Anyway, let's keep going. So we're talking about fences. When you decide, inevitably, when you realize and decide that most of society, most of the people around you are fucking horrible, you will naturally start to seek out practical ways to just get away from the normies, get away, and try to filter and have your own little friend group. Like you only want to hang out with the few cool people that are like you know. And you really want to isolate everybody else because it's just not worth it. Okay? And at least in the wilderness, at least in the middle of nowhere, if you can't bother me, if you're a drunk, if you're on drugs, if you can't bother me, I can, pull a knife and nobody's gonna be a witness. Nobody's gonna see you, what happened. They're gonna find your corpse, weeks later. And you don't have to be a problem for me, right? Because when I'm trying to work out in a park, if you decide to come bother me, I see somebody who's like a walking prison sentence. And they don't even realize it. Like they're like a walking possessed, trying to get me in prison. Like, hey bro, I'm gonna attack you. Come stab me so you can go to jail and I can ruin your life. But if I'm working out in the wilderness and I see somebody like coming out of their way, like 100 meters away, coming to want something from me, I can prepare. I can get, a knife, a gun next to me. Be ready to shoot first. It's you're playing on your field. You have the home advantage. Okay. When you live in a town, when you're around other people, there's cameras. Everybody's looking to fuck with you, but if you beat them up, you go to jail. You get the problems, right? So they can beat you up. They can be like, oh, I'm insane. So they don't even go to jail. And then one day you say to yourself, well, maybe I'll also pretend I'm insane. So then they can put me in jail because I'm insane, bro. Right? And you just, everyday living with other people, you realize how much of a joke communism is, how much of a joke it is. And you realize small, thriving towns and societies, like it happens. Sometimes a lot of nice people get born in a nice place and they follow the rules and they turn out to be pretty good. Like everybody wants to live in Switzerland. Everybody wants to live in a village in the Alps. Okay? You're probably gonna have like a nice society there. Everybody wants to live in Japan, right? But it's like, usually, eventually, these small societies, it's like let's say you have 150 countries in the world. Well, one or two countries manage to somehow evolve to just have nice people and you can actually live in them peacefully and everything's like great, the people are great. Well, that's like 2 countries out of 150 countries, okay? In the other countries, people are raping each other. They just didn't evolve the right way, okay? So the lesson here is you start, when you realize that you're going to be disappointed and annoyed at every fucking day, you start to learn these practical ways, like build a fence. Don't go near people. Don't go in the elevator with people. Try to be away from them. Just fucking try. Just stay away and keep staying away. And go work out away from them. And if you live in a real nice society, if you find a real nice place, you can hang with them, you can enjoy yourself, but it's rare. It's rare, and you gotta safeguard it. And eventually, some people disappoint you. You're like, you know what? You know, eventually, you realize, like, if I want to work out, okay, I can go downstairs. I can go like in a grassy area downstairs, whatever, or at home. If you have a house, you can go in the backyard. But I'm not gonna go drive and find parking space and enter a gym with other people and just be annoyed and just have my time wasted. I mean, can you fucking imagine, bro? Can you fucking imagine? So, you're telling me like, okay, I have lots of free time. I have lots of free time. Even though I have a lot of important things to do, still I have a lot of free time. In terms of jobs and working, it's like, okay, I don't give a shit. But somebody, let's say you're a movie star. You're a movie star, you're a sportist, so you have like, you need to get in shape and you need to prepare for this acting role. You have 6 months, okay? You have free time, but you don't want to be wasting your time in a way. Let's say you are, again, let's say you're Rhea Ripley, right? Famous wrestling woman. So you gotta go wrestle. You gotta go travel and wrestle 2 times a week. So let's say you only have 3 days a week for your leisure, right? So your 4 days of your week are like traveling and working and going in the ring and, you know, just doing stuff. And now you have 3 days per week to like relax, but also you gotta work out, right? So, you have 3 days for your free time, but you also gotta work out. You gotta do the fitness, right? So you're like, I have 3 days a week, which are gonna be my weekend, my holiday. If I bother driving to a gym and finding parking space and somebody fucked with my car and I'm going to a gym and the machines are taken and I gotta fucking wait, and then you calculate the time wasted and it's like, oh shit, I spent 3 hours. I'm in the gym, there's some guy using this machine, there's another schmuck using that machine, and we all know that these people are gonna quit the gym after 3 months. They're here, they think they're gonna do something, they're doing nothing, they're using the machine, they're wasting your time. Like, yeah, you know, and you need to prepare for work, you need to be in shape so you can perform in the ring, right? And men are coming to talk to you. Let's say you're a woman, men are coming to talk to you. Or if you're a man, women are looking at you like they're ready to like record you, say that you're a creep. Everybody hates you, you know. Other men, they want to say something, they want to give you shitty advice, they want to somehow, I don't know, get in a fight with you, hate on you, and it's like, you gotta ask yourself, like, what the hell is going on, bro? You know. Oh shit, I forgot to take my morning coffee. Give me a second. Where's my fucking... Oh, for fuck's sake. We're just gonna have to do the good old finger in the mouth. Finger in the mouth. This is fucking annoying, man. Give me a second. Okay, now we're better. So as I was saying, you're eventually going to realize that it's just not fucking worth it. And I got into arm wrestling. What was it? 2.5 years ago. I got into arm wrestling. I'm like, I want to go Saturday to the only gym on the other side of town. The other gym on the other side of town, where there's an arm wrestling table, and rumors are people are gonna come. People who train this are gonna come, and you can meet them, you can wrestle with them. Well, the schmucks come during the week after work. They all choose to drive after work during the weekdays. So if you wanna come meet them, you gotta come in the rush hour. You gotta travel the whole town during rush hour and go. Again, you try to rely on other people, Bulgarians, and you're just incredibly like, you're, what the fuck is this? You're straining your hairs. And again, here's your practical example. Here's your example of how they're gonna drive you insane. So, you see all these arm wrestlers, you know, the famous ones, and how they train and what they do, and say, hey, they go meet on like Saturday, it's very chill. It's like, hey, you know, a lot of people are going to this club on Saturday, no traffic. You can easily just hop in the car, go there, work out with the boys. In here in Bulgaria, good fucking luck. If you don't have some friends who like want to do it with you, if you don't know somebody and you have the same interest, good fucking luck. You are... all the Bulgarians decide that they want to go practice after work, 6 p.m. in the rush hour at this gym who's on the other side of town. And so I keep going on Saturday. I'm hoping to meet someone who's sane enough to come on a Saturday on his free day. Not once. I've went for 2 or 3 months. Not once did anybody anybody come from these like actual people who, you know, they practice it. So I had to beg other, you know, some younger guys. I had to beg them to practice with me, because like I'm coming every Saturday from the other part of town. I'm coming to drive with these assholes on the road just to find somebody. I don't need the other machines. I don't need to go to the gym. I just want to arm wrestle, okay? And eventually, you know, you get the resistance bands and you start working out yourself. The band is your partner. You're like, you know what, people? Fuck you. I'm gonna do it on my own. I don't need you anymore. I'll use the robot. I'll build a robot. Okay? So, and then I find a neighbor who wants to play a couple of times with me. But that's it. Then he didn't want to play anymore. You know, he has his own stuff to do. And you have no idea how hard it is to keep a damaged mind quiet to relax. You have no idea. You have no idea. Oops, I'm sorry. Burp. Burpy boy. So, but anyway, you find these practical life hacks. So at the end of the day, we can say we're not just full of shit. We found ways to live better. So, hey, resistance bands, rubber bands, work out with them. It works. Calisthenics, some special exercises. Turns out you don't need to go to the gym at all. Like, I can support my whole body weight trying to do a handstand on my shoulders. I don't need any heavy weight from the gym. Like, I weigh 96 kilograms. I also have a weight vest. So if I'm too light, I can always make myself heavier. So I can just use my whole body weight. That's like plenty of weight for the shoulders, balancing myself. So you find out, okay, we actually don't need to go to the gym anymore. Okay, you want to squat a lot of kilograms, I can just jump around, squat around with some weights, whatever, parkour course, climb stuff, you know. And again, the question, what if you want to learn to climb? What if you want to, you think climbing is fun? Well, you gotta go pay for a climbing place. You gotta go to the climbing place. And it's like, yesterday on the news, a child fell because one of the safety ropes broke, and the child hit his head, kinda, I don't know, got some bruises. It's like, again, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. Is the rope made in China? Has the rope been inspected every week? And it's like, no. Bulgarian shit. Of course you can't trust them. So what you do is, if you have a backyard, you build like a little wall, okay, and you put some of these climbable attachments. You buy them and you screw them in, and now you have your own wall. And you get a safety rope, and you get a helmet, and now you know it's your helmet, it's a quality helmet. You don't need to, you know, go pay rent in that climbing place and they give you some Chinese helmet, you know. You did the right thing. You went to pay to the pros place and they gave you a Chinese helmet, and now you died. So once again, you choose to rely on yourself, you choose to do it yourself, and it's like, oh wow, you know, now I get to actually make it good. Or you can find an abandoned place where nobody's going to come unscrew and steal a couple of like climbing attachments, right? So they're made of plastic, they're kind of cheap. They're kind of like handles. They're like plastic handles that you... Now, of course, if you buy them from China, they could just like break off. So, you know, it's kind of weird. You don't know who to trust. But, you know, you can find an abandoned place and just put a couple of attachments and just go play in there. Some abandoned construction, abandoned wall, okay? And I don't know what to tell you. If people find it, they will try to destroy it. I can tell you that for a fact. If people find it, they will try to destroy it. I don't know why. So try to find a really remote place that nobody goes to, okay? So, at the end of the day, after all this talking, like you should always be asking the question, after all this talking, after you wasted 1 hour of my day listening to you, did we learn something practical? Is my life going to be better? And the answer is yes, okay? We learned about building a fence. We learned about staying away from people. We learned about going in the elevator alone. We learned about using a self-checkout so you don't have to deal with people. Oh my goodness. We learned about what else? Park where people are not gonna come touch your car. You know, don't be noticeable. We learned about use resistance bands. You can actually work out without going to a gym. It actually fucking works. My chest is actually starting to look okay. I never thought I would have like a decent looking chest. I always thought I would have just like a fat guy, you know, bitch tits. It actually fucking works. You're just doing dips. It works. I don't know why. Okay? And that's... Let's move to the next lesson. So, what was the next lesson? Ah, yes, you're going to love this. We've already been talking for 40 minutes. Let's make a separate video. How about that? Like and subscribe.